Like a good farmhouse thrift flip, or do you like French country vibes? I'm gonna go ahead and mix these two together, create some thrifted upcycles and creating some wood elements here with some chippy paint and layered paint. So come on in, you guys, and welcome into Emily's Upcycled home.
For my first project here, I am taking this frame that I got from my friend Andrea over at the Cutest Little Things. Give her a follow, you guys. I'll put her link down in the comments. I like this frame. It was cute and everything. It had this vintage swan pick in it, but it wasn't my vibe. So I'm going to go ahead and change this out and give us a French country farmhouse vibe using some black paint that I just picked up from Hobby Lobby here. Going to change this color blue. Although it's a beautiful shade of blue, we are going to transform it and give us a darker, moodier tone using black paint. Now I'm just going to thoroughly cover this with one coat of that black paint, let it thoroughly dry, and come in and add a little bit of some antique wax to that frame as well. Now I decided to use the back of the board here for our surface, and later on I will go ahead and cut out a cardboard because we took out all the glass and everything. It gives us a little gap, and I want that to fit snugly in the frame. With that same black paint, you guys, I am coming in and giving this one full coat of black and priming our surface to do our little technique that we are going to do up next, you guys. Once I have all that dried up, I'm coming in with my little stencil here and using this product that gives you a raised stencil look. Coming in with my little scraper or spatula, you want to call it. That's what I'm going to call it, a spatula, you guys. I don't know the name. But I'm going to come in and just add some heat in there. And once you add that heat to it, you're going to see that textured paint or that product puff up, and it's going to give you this raised, beautiful stencil look on your piece. I'm going to continue that process of adding more of this product here, layering up that stencil all the way across, coming in again with that second layer of heat for that second piece of our work here, and then we'll come back in and do a third one over there in that corner as well. Just repeating that process to finish off the look here and drying it up thoroughly. I don't mind the space on the top because we are going to come in and layer up some greenery as well, so I didn't worry about that. Now I'm going to come in and dinching this up a little bit with just some bare antiquing wax here. I'm going to layer up into all that filigree, adding some more layers and texture and color to this piece, giving it a little bit more of a rustic vibe, I believe. So I'm going to layer that up thoroughly, and then we'll move on to our next step. So with my Premium Marketing Farm Animals mold and my DOS air dry clay, I'm going to place in all that clay into the grooves of the cow here, and we're going to smooth that out with my fingers, just getting a smooth surface as I can, filling in any uneven sections here, smashing everything down with my hand, and then pulling out the beautiful mold from our casting here. I'm going to place that into the center of our frame here using some Gorilla Glue, just the clear gel that I get off of Amazon, placing little dabs here and there, and then smoothing everything out with my finger, placing that back into the center, and just making sure each little piece has a proper hold. Now, to dry the surface just a little bit for my paint, I come in with my heat tool and layer up some cathedral taupe here with Fusion Paint Cathedral Taupe. It does have a little bit of sea spray in there, just adding some texture there, as well as layering around the frame and giving it more of a dry brush look. I love to add layers to my pieces. I just think visually it gives you a lot of pieces and interest to look at your item that you have here. So I do come in with a little bit of distressing around those corners, pulling back all the way to that goldness of that frame and a little bit of that blue hue as well. And once I have that down, I come in with my Distress Oxide ink here. Now this is giving me, I don't know if it's reacting to the clay very weirdly, it's giving me almost a little bit of a purple hue. So you're gonna see later on I come back in and paint that up off camera, so it's gonna look a little bit different. But I do come in with a little layer of greenery here and place those at the top of our piece. Just adding a little pops of greenery just to brighten up the surface and add a little depth to our piece. I do add a little bit of baby's breath. Now to me, this is saying more of a French country vibe, but you guys let me know down in the comments. I think these are just crossing over the French country and the farmhouse, so I just mix them up together. I come in with a little bit of lace and a little bit of different selected fabrics that I had on hand and just ripping fabrics and making a rag bow with using my little bow maker here as well. You can get this on Amazon. I'm using those 2 sticks and I just make like a figure 8 here because I want my loops to be the same size on each side. So this is the method I'm using for this particular bow. You can use this in different ways. It's up to you, but this is the way I'm using it for today's video. I'm gonna tie a string in the center and then double knot that and just fluff out my bow and trim up everything and place that into the center of our image here. Now my strings are way too long, so I do trim up all that layering that we did there and just place that back into the center between both of our greenery pieces. And then I add a little bell embellishment and a little tag embellishment as well. I just using simple hot glue. It's actually Gorilla Glue sticks here. I come in with this cute little bell, little brass style bell here. Add some more lace to that and hot glue to that to the back of our bow. I do put a little hot glue on the back of the bell because I want it to land in a certain spot and it kept shifting on me. So this is where we're at here. And then I decide to come in with a little wood tag I get off of Amazon and some simple number 8 stamps I think I got off of Temu, and just dingy that up a little bit. Now here I'm just thinking more of a tag. You know how the little cows have the tags on their ears or markings, so that's why I put this particular tag, and that number is just the number I just happened to grab. So that was our first part of this project. Let's go ahead and move on to our second piece here. We're going to be adding some wood backing to this, and I want a layered look here. So these slats are from Hobby Lobby. You can purchase them. They are in the wood section, and this extra thin slab of wood that I found just in my stash, I don't know where that came from. I'm going to add some wood glue to the back of this piece, and then we are going to come in with a little bit of hot glue around the edges as well. And that just gives me the hold, the instant hold, and then the glue will give me the support that I want for all these pieces to be glued together. I add some weight to that and let that dry for 24 hours. So this is the piece that we have here, and I want to come in and distress this and give this a distressed paint look. So I know I'm coming in with milk paint, but because this is so porous, it's gonna absorb that milk paint. So that's why I came in with that candle holder and waxed everything up. Now with this milk paint this is actually Sweet Pickins I get from my friend Andrea at the Cutest Little Things. You can message her if you're interested in this product. But I know Fusion does have its own milk paint line too. I need to get some colors in that line as well. But it's the same process, just a 1-to-1 ratio of water to powder. You mix that up thoroughly, let it set to thicken up, and then it's ready to use. You want a melted milkshake kind of consistency, and you see how this wood piece is just drinking up that milk paint. I'm just gonna do the best I can to layer up all this piece and give it as much as a chippy, distressed look as I can. I come in with my heat gun, which helps get a lot of the crackle usually, and like I said, milk paint and wood, this is a very thirsty piece of wood and it's just drinking that milk paint up. But usually you will get the crackling, you'll get some chipping. You see how we got here. And I didn't make a lot, so I didn't continue layering. I find that you get the best effect when you layer your milk paint. Heat it, layer it, heat it, and layer it over and over again and build that texture and build that paint up. Now I'm coming in with my 220 piece of sandpaper, and wherever I put that wax, it's going to easily pull it up and we're gonna get this beautiful look here that you see. Now, I like this look, so I'm just gonna go in with my Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax in the color white. Once again, you can buy this stuff with my affiliate link. I'll have that in the description as well as the exact product link too. Go ahead with my wax brush, layer this up, and then wax it off and buff it and smooth everything out because you don't want that filminess to it. Now, I made a mistake here, you guys. I waxed my piece before I added this, but I went ahead and kind of just sanded that area, glued this up with some E6000 and hot glue, added some transfers to this piece because I lost some footage here. I don't know where it went. And then I came in with different stencils and pieced together wordings and a look I like. And the paint color is just two colors, very mixed. I don't remember what colors it is, but it gave me this pretty shade of gray that I think works well with what we're going for. Now for this large stencil, this is a Jamie Ray vintage stencil, and I'm just going to use that number 10 in the center. And make sure when you're stenciling, you have your stencil brush and you have very little paint on your brush. That's going to give you that best results. I also come in with that leftover paint, hit up all those edges around my frame and into that cowl that, remember, I repainted, you guys. And then this piece is complete as far as layering paint. I come in with some hanging rope and just knot it as you see in the corners, put a knot in the front, and with my drill I just drilled 2 holes on the top of the piece. And now this is just where we're gonna hang it. And look at the finished result, you guys. This is a beautiful, simple piece that anybody can build, just layering up everything, and it gives you a higher end look with all the layers, all the textures, all the different pieces that we pull together to make one unified, beautiful French country or farmhouse piece, whatever you want to call it. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of this project, or if you guys are a farmhouse or a French country lover. Shop IOD, Fusion, or Dixie Belle products with that affiliate link in the description.
For our next project, we are just going to come in with some sconces, layer them up with some milk paint, and give them a whole chippy kind of vibe. Hopefully this paint doesn't absorb as much as our wood did, but we'll see what happens to it. Maybe we'll come in with a little bit of transfer as well. But let's go ahead and jump into that project.
So these are the 2 sconces that I have. I think I got them off of a Whatnot show. They are vintage sconces, but I don't like the vibe of them, so I'm sorry if you do. I'm going to first come in with some alcohol and wipe this whole thing down into those fibers of that cloth as well. There is a little bit of a musty smell from, you know, the age of the piece. So I'm going to give this a good wipe down with that alcohol, hoping that it gets rid of that. So I'm going to come in with this Mercantile color by Sweet Pickins, you guys. And once again, my girl Andrea sells this product, so hit her up if you want any. And if you're interested in the Fusion milk paint, you can use that affiliate link down in the comments or description. Once again, coming in and layering that up with the 1-to-1 ratio. And I am going to paint this fabric in the center as well. We're just going to very messily layer up this milk paint, hoping that it gives us some beautiful texture and chippiness. But if it doesn't, we're just going to go with the flow, you guys. It's still going to give us a beautiful distressing when I come in with a piece of sandpaper. So just layering up the pieces here and getting into all the little grooves. And I come in, you notice that my heat gun is also on. So I'm just coming in with that heat gun right after I start layering it and just drying that paint, coming in with more layering of that paint. And it is building some textured and layered look onto the piece, regardless if it's going to give us a chippy look or not. This is a look with the full coverage. I'll come back in and do the backs later with a solid gray color. Just coming in with my regular 220 piece of sandpaper, and we're going to distress this up. We didn't quite get the chippy look we wanted, but if you notice as I'm sanding, some of the flakes are chipping, so it does give you a whole different distressed look, even though you don't get a very chippy look to your piece, which I still think this is a beautiful finish. I will come in later and show you some infusion milk paint as well, so you can see the difference in those two products. I will go ahead and distress the second piece off camera, but you see the difference between one distress and the other one not. I come in very lightly with whatever leftover wax is on my brush and just dingy up that center fabric. And then we're going to come in with the Rose Botanical Transfer Burnt IOD, and we are going to give this a floral design in that center of that fabric. Now I want this image to run on from like one sconce to the other one. So let's see if we pull that off and it gives a cohesive look without being so different, and you know the two pieces go together. So all you do is the same process on any other piece. You go ahead and rub on that transfer, removing that backing, placing it down wherever the piece did not adhere, and just repeat that process. Go ahead and burnish that into the fabric, and I will continue on cutting out the other half of the image and placing it into our second sconce, repeating that process of rubbing on and removing that plastic, as well as burnishing that in. Now I come in with more greenery on this one, so on the other one I come in with more greenery as well. And I know the flowers are different, but I still think this gives you a pretty look with that same kind of pattern rolling through one through the next. Go ahead and use my brush to get in between the lip of the fabric and the wood, and then I come in with those little leftover labels that are on it. Now here's where I make a mess. You see me pull up all that IOD transfer there, trying to distress my image. I come back and try to do a little bit of patchwork on here. Let's see if I pull this off at the end. I go ahead and decide to spray my image and my piece first with a Rust-Oleum top layer, and then we'll come back and lightly distress that, come in with a little heat gun, and then I'll go ahead and let this thoroughly dry. I did come in and repeat that process of distressing the piece, adding a little bit more dark wax into that center, and then just sealed everything up with DIY clear wax. And then these sconces are done, you guys. I'll come back later on off video and get those backs and paint them just with a nice clear coat of gray. And here is the finished look. You guys let me know what you think of these down in the comments. A chippy look, that distressed look on our image, as well as a little bit of aging up on that cloth as well. So let me know if you like this look, or did I miss the mark on this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this project as much as I did. Even though I had a little bit of issues over there, I think they turned out pretty well.
Well guys, we have come to the end of our video. Let me know what you guys think of these projects down in the comments. Comments help everybody's channel out so much, so please interact with me down in those comments. Give me a thumbs up and a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, you guys, on your way out. Here's those projects one more time, you guys, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Bye friends.